Well, it's nice to see you again. I think it's been 3 weeks since our last
I know,
meeting.
time just like flies. I just literally finished the episode that's coming out next week. And I'm like, WTF, because I'm annoyed that I now have to wait until next week because it's one of those episodes.
Oh my gosh,
Like
right.
one of those, like, oh my god, I have to wait a week. Like no, why?
Oh my gosh, that's how I felt when they showed the clip of like Will dying right at the end of episode 2. That was
Right?
cruel.
Like,
Also, I was going to suggest to everyone, I can't, for some reason, I don't know how to see the chat on YouTube Live. I think it's because you're the host, but on the Instagram Live, people can write us questions. There is a question box thing where I think people can write stuff, but I don't
think there is. Let me see. Wait, it's your live, so I don't think I can see it, but I can see the comments on the live. The YouTube is still kind of like connecting, so we'll wait for that one. Should have really done this in my studio room, but it's Friday, and I've had so many calls today. I was just like, you know what?
Let me guess, they'll do a Will with Tara getting shot. I don't know if I'm not doing that. We do know that one of the synopses for Tara's episode, which is titled Tara, and I think all of us have that. What's it called? Like, we all know when an episode is named after a character,
something is gonna happen. All I'll say is that, like, whatever happens, it's two pretty important people that are involved.
Okay, even I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that's all I can say without getting in trouble with Paramount, but...
Okay, fair enough. Oh my gosh, what did you think of the newest episode? I was curious.
So that will be the episode which I saw last week, which is the Buried Alive one, right? Yeah. It's confusing because it's like I see them like a week before, which is, like I said last time, was interesting, is that they gave me this season a week before the public season, whereas before I remember binging the entire season in like one go because they gave me all the screeners at once, which I guess is kind of nice because, you know, sometimes when you binge something and then you've seen it all, so when it comes out for everyone else, you're kind of forgetting what's happening. But this is kind of nice because I'm still like, okay, I watched that episode last week. I think last week's episode was good. I think it was starting to pick the pace up a little bit because I felt like some of the episodes were like, I noticed moments where I was losing interest, which is really weird because I've been a fan of this show since I was like a kid and I've never like not paid attention to the TV. But if I find myself like editing something or going and doing something, that means like there's something in the show that's kind of like taking me away. Still good episodes, but I think last week really brought me back in and I was like, okay, they're doing what they do best.
Episode 5 for me was bad. I don't think I've ever been that. Normally, I used to have to stay up because I live in the Eastern Standard Time zone. I have to stay up until like 1 a.m. or sometimes later to watch the episode right when it drops. And I found that last week's episode, episode 5, was not worth staying up for, and I was kind of disappointed by that. But then with this newest episode, I was glued to my computer watching it. I think the Buried Alive thing freaked me out too much. I don't know if that's like what you said. The upcoming episode is one of your worst fears. Being buried alive is like my nightmare, 100%. Because I'm drowning.
Yeah, drowning. Anything claustrophobic for me too. I mean, there's a movie. What was it called? It's like Sandra Bullock, and I think the serial killer buries her alive, and that movie always like freaked me out. But being buried alive is like a very claustrophobic thing for me too. But I'm more scared of this thing that's coming in the next episode because I feel like it's more realistic because they can be anywhere, you know?
Yeah, someone asked what your favorite season of Criminal Minds is. I think that was, I can't read this far from my phone, so if I get your name wrong, it's because I'm blind.
I'm blind too, so welcome to the club.
I could wear my glasses, but the reflection would bother me.
Yeah, my eyelash extensions, when I wear glasses, they like touch, it's just a mess.
I love season 5 and 16, I think, the most, which I wasn't expecting to like season 16 as much as I did, but I rewatched that the most. I think season 5 is also one of my favorites.
I would have to say, it's weird because like I've been a different person as the show has gone. I was literally an 11-year-old kid to a teenager to like a grown adult. So it's like, when I think about it, I'm like, when I saw the first season, I was just like, oh my God, I shouldn't be watching this, but oh my God, this is so cool. Oh my God, I love like anything to do with crime. But I would say season 5 too, you know?
Really?
But then also season 1 because as a kid, just stepping into that whole world for me was like so cool, and like my first show that I'm like watching alone. I would go downstairs and watch it alone. And it touches on some really scary stuff, so it was, very interesting. But also I feel like if I wasn't a journalist, I would probably be in the BAU if I could run.
I think everyone's had that dream of like, what if I was a profiler, or can I be a profiler from Criminal Minds, or just from watching it? I know a lot of people really like Mindhunter because it has that same feeling. It is about the actual BAU, for sure. I've never seen it. But I think everyone who I've met who has talked about the show or who has watched the show I've got to start it, they all have like the same mentality of when you start watching it, you become a little paranoid about everything around you, and I think that's really funny that it's such a common theme because it opens your eyes up to a lot of the parts that you don't see in the world, especially scissors. I mean, like the first episode was such a gut punch with seeing a person in a cage.
Yeah. Oof. And there's so many things going on right now. And I think some of like when I interviewed the cast, they even said like they're paranoid now. Like they wouldn't leave doors open and they wouldn't do this and that. It's hot here. Never like to leave the screen door open. In the middle of the night, if it's left open, I just go and close it because I'm just like, I've seen way too many episodes. I can't. It freaks me out. But it's crazy because especially like LA and like California in the 70s, 80s, there was a lot of like serial killers. There were so many different serial killers. And I know a lot of the cases are used in Criminal Minds. I mean, when I interviewed, was it Erica or was it Paget? I don't know which one of them said it, but I have to go look back at the video. But they did say that they did actually look at like previous cases and stuff, and they've looked at stuff, and they couldn't get deep into it, but they've actually like used real life evidence and looked through it and like done that to like bring the show to life, which I think is really interesting because. And they tell it in a sensitive way because these are people's lives, people's lives were lost and were taken. And sorry, my dog is like crying in the background. He had surgery yesterday, so he's so sad.
I didn't know that.
And he's like, like Trippy so. Oh my god, now he's looking at me.
I always find with the newer seasons, one thing I haven't been enjoying as much is that they stopped calling the unsub the unsub. And that bugs me. I mean, some of the times they do know his name, so that's like it's not an issue. They just call, they call Ronald Creeper the Ronald Creeper, but throughout the entirety of the Brutal Man, they kept repeating the Brutal Man, which bugged me because they used to stress that calling him the unsub was important when you don't know, not like the killer or whatever name investigates him. And I need them to bring back the word unsub. That bothered me a lot. But also, I bring that up because you mentioned how they have respect for families. So when they don't call the unsub by the name and they prioritize, or when they prioritize, sensationalizing the killer rather than the victims, it takes me out of it a little bit. I don't really like that.
Yeah, I think I prefer. I mean, I remember like it was the unsub, and I think it not unified the killers, but it brought the stories more like it's an unsub every week. But now that they're giving them like an identity, I don't know. I don't know if it's because now it's streaming and it's different, and they want to make things a little bit different. Because they did mention that like they have to do certain things for the streaming world, but it's like I feel like day one fans cross over to any platform. Like I don't even really watch cable anymore, even when it's like Law and Order or something. I just wait till it comes on the next day because I honestly don't stay up till like 10 p.m. sometimes, But I feel like the fans will come over to every platform, diehard true fans. True. So I don't like certain things have been changed. I also miss like having loads more episodes, but
I know. I wonder how it would change with the 22 episode season. No, I was thinking about the recent episode. I found that they split the time between the actual unsub and the case. Like we got a lot in this recent episode. Them doing. I did put like one thing about episode 5 and episode 6 is that we got to see them do the deliver the profile scene, and that always brings me back a lot. I don't know. On the Instagram live, you're fine. It's glitching on the YouTube live. Now you're fine.
See, for me, it's the other way around. It's glitching on the Instagram, but not on the YouTube.
I don't know. I'm on my data, so I tried to make this as like easy as possible.
I mean, as long as everyone can hear us, we'll be fine. What was the last thing you said? I think you said something about the last episode.
Oh, I like them when they remember to do proper delivering the profile scenes, like examining who they are, who the killers are, and why they do what they do. I liked the most recent episode a lot because of how detailed they got into Kyle's background. I kept laughing at the fact that his name is Kyle. I wasn't expecting it to be the name Kyle. I don't know why that took me out of the episode so much, but I kept giggling, thinking about, oh, it's Kyle. It's Kyle.
Kyle.
Okay.
I can't. That's fun. I mean, I'm trying to think about it now. I'm like, that kind of is a little bit funny. Not that I'm laughing at like, the whole.
No offense to
concept of it,
Kyle's,
but-
I'm sorry. But no,
I
that
think it's
kept
like,
making me laugh.
as I watched the latest episode and somebody asked me if it included spiders, well, I guess you'll have to wait and see. I mean, there's
Yeah.
like photos out, but
There is.
promo
We're
photos.
not going into that.
Yeah, so it answers the question itself. But I don't know how I feel about. I was just sitting here thinking, and I was like, the fact that this entire like season and continuing on from last season is all really about like, the whole.
Yeah, I find that was my big issue.
Storyline, but I still don't know how I feel about it because now we kind of have sympathy towards him because he's forgotten that he's a killer. But then it's like the other season they made him to be such a ruthless killer. Or maybe they want to play with our mind. I don't know. That whole thing is kind of like crazy.
I know we do know that Zach is officially coming back for season 4. I don't know where they're going to go with the Voight storyline now that, okay, we caught him, we used him as an asset to help find, Gold Star, and now he has amnesia, so we're having like an ethical dilemma of whether or not he's still him. I don't know where else they could go with Voight, because I know one of the biggest complaints in the fandom right now is they do not want more Voight. People want him to be killed off, or they just want him gone. I'm not sure how you feel about it, but
sorry, barking dog. I don't want him to be killed off because I feel like that would be a little bit extreme, and I feel like if they were to kill him off, they would have already done it with all the stuff that happened last time. But I just feel like they need to either figure out if he's going to stay in a hospital somewhere, try and get his memory back, or go to prison or something. Because the fact that he's coming back, it's like, what is he now going to be like an asset to the BAU? Is he going to be working with them forever? Like that's kind of weird because he's still a killer at the end of the day,
I feel like something has to give. I don't. Hopefully there is a season 5 or season 20. But I don't know if Voight is going to be dragged on through all of that. I just really want to know what they're going to do else. Like, what more could they do? He's been through every level of the team. I hope they don't release him again. Is my
I know
big issue again.
I mean, he's not gonna be released, but you're gonna see. I can't. We're just gonna continue the conversation after next week's episode for these things, but some of these things do get answered. But they're not. You're literally left with more questions. I feel like every episode ends and you're left with more questions, and you're like, oh, I feel like some things were answered, but now I have more questions, and now I'm just like conflicted. I don't know. It's starting to. I love the show, but I'm like, I need to help us out.
Someone also, I lost where I was now, so I can't see their name. But someone also asked what our favorite season finale was.
I don't even know if I remember because for me, it's all merged into like one big show at this point.
I gotta say, for the case, my favorite one will always be, and also because it's based off a Canadian one, and it creeps me out. It's the pig one.
Ooh.
It's a season 4 finale to Hell and Back, and that episode is based off, I think, Robert Picton's case. I think it's either Robert or William Picton. I always mess that up. I think I talked about it last time we were live. But it's the pig farm episode. I feel like everybody remembers the pig farm episode, even strangers who, I've talked to people out in the world. Whenever I've brought up Criminal Minds, or if they bring it up, they always remember the pig farm episode. And then emotionally, when it's like the characters are involved, Oh gosh, that sounds like a ball game. Season. Oh, I don't know.
For me, it's
Season
not really
12
like a
was really good.
yeah. For me, it's not really like a season finale, but it's like moments that like over time, like hit hard. Like for me, I had attached like a deep emotional attachment to like Morgan, and when he left, I was really like I mean know a lot of people were upset, but I was like really upset. And then Reed as well, because that I just felt like those were like my people. And when they both left, I was like, I don't know. It's like these people, like they're your friends. And when those two like left for me, it was just I don't even know how to explain it. I felt like I lost a real friend and I just kind of like melted. But
That's very
those are
fair.
like two moments. And I think when you connect, like I was just saying this with 911 when they killed Bobby Nash, that was just so out of pocket. Like I wanted to walk somewhere. That felt like that, but I was a little bit younger too, so it felt like I was in emotional turmoil for days. Like those are just moments that like. And then when they kill, was it Haley? When Haley died, like it's these little things. It's like you have these attachments and you think they're their families. And Will's like what?
They didn't have to kill Will. I stand by the fact that they could have just had him be in the background like they have for every other time he wasn't there.
That was like our Criminal Minds dad, like
they killed off in a span of 1 week. They killed. Spoiler alert, by the way, for The Last of Us and for 911. They killed off Bobby Nash. They killed off Joel and from The Last of Us, and then they killed off Will. It was like 3 in 1 week, and then we also lost the Pope, which is unrelated, but it feels like it should be included.
Yeah.
Someone else asked a favorite episode or episodes that were directed by a cast member.
Oh, I wonder why I'm not seeing these. Oh, maybe I need to scroll up.
I think it's like the one at the very bottom. I don't know. My favorite episode of all time is 100, although that's not directed by a cast member. But cast member. False Flag was directed by Joe Montana, and that's season.
I was about to say Joe's episodes. I love Joe's episodes. I just love Joe. He's such a. I feel like he could be like my uncle or grandpa, but I just want to hang out with him. He seems so cool.
He gives that effect, and he even I think over the years, from what I've seen from being in the fandom and watching the way people he interacts with fans, and he doesn't run his own page, which I think is funny. But I think he's definitely taken on the moniker for Papa Pasta or Paparazzi. I think that's funny, and so he has the vibe that he appears to give off, and I think that's cute.
Yeah, I feel like he is his character, almost, if that makes sense. Oh my god, my dog has a cone from his surgery. He's fighting the cone. Please stop. No.
I also think I don't think it was Thomas who directed it. I think Googler directed Mr. Scratch, which is in season 10. That is also one of my favorite episodes that a cast member has ever done. I think that episode is incredible. It's one of the creepier ones for sure, so I think it has to be Googler who directed it. But I'm losing all of the episodes that have ever existed, directed by a cast member. Aisha's amazing too. I like a lot of her directing that she's done. And AJ Cook, correct me if I'm wrong, did she direct next week's episode? Episode 7?
Let me check. Sorry, YouTube.
I'm pretty sure so I'm hoping we get some behind the scenes content I'm pretty sure AJ did the next one. No, 2 weeks is not enough. They really love that 2-week window for JJ. After 200, the following episode, she says she's been off for 2 weeks after being tortured, which I think is look. Okay. I feel like somebody knows. I would have it, but I don't know if I can exit the live to look at my notes. I swear she directed that. Okay, so AJ directed the following episode. So I don't. know if there's anything super notable about her directing style. It's good. It's never anything to complain about for sure. But I know she is directing this upcoming episode. Someone also asked the multi-fandom girl, nerd girl, my apologies. Do you miss the days when Criminal Minds had longer seasons, or do you prefer shorter seasons like Evolution? I want the longer seasons. I feel like they could do so much more with the pacing of the way things are. Like, they didn't need a cliffhanger for every episode. And I think we'd also get back those individual cases that we like so much, where you could watch an episode without having to know every lore detail of what Voight has done before watching an episode or being set up to it, or also not being dropped into a very emotion-heavy centered episode, like Will's funeral, for example.
Yeah, like I really do miss seasons, and I feel like longer seasons because I feel like a lot of, and not just
Oh God, you cut out.
things get like cramped or like rushed when you do shorten it. And I get it, it's for streaming, maybe they can release more, the world has changed, but I do miss like the format that we used to get, because I do feel like meeting at the table, going through the case, handing the pieces of paper out, wheels up, it was like a thing. And I think they maybe had to cut some of that out because we don't get as many episodes. And those are the things that like are unique to Criminal Minds that we can separate from like Without a Trace, which doesn't even air anymore, well, Law and Order, or whatever, CSI. Those are like unique Criminal Mind things that separate it from other crime shows and other shows. So I do miss those, and I think because there is like less episodes, that they do cut certain things out of certain scenes. So yeah, I would prefer to go back, but I don't know if we ever will.
I think
Unfortunately,
even 15 episodes instead of 10 would do a lot better. Like, season 14 had 15 episodes, and I still think that was pretty well paced, even though it didn't have an overarching. Well, no, it did. No, it didn't. I'm a liar. I was thinking of the wrong season. But I think even 15 episodes would do a lot better with pacing. I don't know. I know a lot of people think that the downfall of the show has to do with it being only 10 episodes.
yeah, but it's also for a lot of shows. Like, first, sorry, let me mute this while my dog yells.
It's okay. I'm actually glad my cat is not with me at the moment, because he likes to
Every time
sit in
somebody
her.
comes near the door, he trips. But somebody asked when is the giveaway winners. So I'm gonna announce the Dexter giveaway winners on the bottom of that post by 8 p.m. PST. There's been an overwhelming Dexter is another show I love, by the way. There's been I watched it around the same age, so it's crazy, but there's been an overwhelming response for that giveaway, and I only had 5 copies, which are right over there. So I actually have asked Paramount if I can get more. If they don't have any more, I'm going to purchase some more and send them by Amazon to the rest of the people. But I'm going to announce it on the post, the official 4. And there'll be more. Like, I get lots of stuff, so I'll keep doing these. But for this first one, I need to do a Criminal Minds one, but they haven't sent me any physical things yet.
There is a show called The Pitt, and it has 15 episodes, and it got renewed for season 2 on Max. I've never watched The Pitt. I keep seeing that on TikTok, like clips of that show will pop up. But I've heard it's very good. And you see, that's the thing. If they can do 15 episodes should be like a minimum, not 10. I feel like 10 is reserved for those, like Netflix originals. I hate that. But they need more. I think we need more episodes in a season. That bugs me so much.
We do too, and they've done it to like a bunch of other shows. Like, it's because they want, like, especially shows that they bring back. They bring them back. They do 10 episodes. It's really great, and then they see that we liked it, and they bring it more back. It's just like, bring it back and give us 25, 30 episodes.
I was shocked that Criminal Minds hasn't had an order for more than 10 episodes, because the show got renewed before, once it was on the same day we got the premiere date for season 18, they were renewed. And so I'm surprised if you can do a renewal that early, 2 months before the actual episodes come out. I feel like they could have just added more, since they were already going to do it.
I'm trying to figure out like what their filming schedule and what their like production schedule is, because
right now it's they just started, and it's going to end in October. For season 19.
What was it before? It's weird because it would come out weekly, right?
Last season it ended in December, and I think they started in, hold on, I'm gonna get to it. I want to say August. I could be wrong. It was around that time, so it takes a while for them to film. I know AJ Cook just recently said in one of her interviews that they're going to be done, or supposedly going to be done by October of this year, but before Halloween, like right before the end of the month. So I don't know. I hope they get an order for more episodes. I'm really tired of watching just the 10.
I know it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe if we all ask for it, but I'm just looking at this pile of merch I got from Universal Studios, and I wish I had some Criminal Minds merch, but I don't. Hello, Paramount. I mean, I don't know. They really do need to give us more than 10 episodes because I'm already. What have I got left? 3 left. Like I have 3 left. You guys have what? 4 left?
Yes. Oh, for those of you who don't know, Alyssa, my co-host, is a screener, so she gets to do the article. I don't know if you do write articles for the show?
Yeah, so I'm a news reporter. So when it comes to media, they send us like the episodes prior for like review or crying dog for review, but we can't actually drop our like reviews until like I think it's the morning before the episode drops. We can like give a basic like there's certain things like I was talking about like whatever's already out in the promo photos and fears and stuff, but I can't reveal like what happens other than telling you that it's like a shocker episode that leaves you like what the hell. But yeah, so weekly we'll either write about it or we'll just screen it and do like social posts or tweets, whatever they really want. Sometimes when you do the interviews, they actually give you the whole season. Maybe I got the whole season because I was doing interviews last time. But then when I recall, my interviews were actually post-mortem. So they were after or like in between the season airing. So I don't know, it depends. But when I emailed Joe's team, they said they're going to let me know when the next opening is on his schedule. So we'll see.
Hopefully a new Joe interview will be in the near future.
I hope so. Oh my God.
Well, I know you've interviewed Paget and I know you've interviewed Eric Messer. Have you spoken to anybody else in the cast?
I talked to Shamar Moore a long time ago at like an event.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I've seen Matthew at an event, but I've just told him I like the show. I didn't necessarily interview him. I haven't interviewed anybody else. Let me think. It's even funny, even the guy who plays the serial killer in the new season, who was Foggy Nelson in Daredevil, he's obviously it's funny, the Daredevil junket, he wasn't available for interviews that day. So it would have been funny because that would have been like one of my questions, like, so you went transition from best friend in Daredevil to serial killer in Criminal Minds.
I know we talked about this last time. That was a jump scare.
That was intense.
Absolutely. I'm trying to think of what else happened. Oh, something I haven't spoken to you about was at the end of episode 4 from this season, JJ goes in to see Voight and she gets in his face and says, "You're stuck here with me." How did you feel watching that? I thought that was intense, but I was like really uncomfortable with her getting in Voight's face that close, especially right after he tried to off himself.
Yeah, that was interesting because I know she was still grieving. I mean, she's still grieving every day in the episodes, but I kind of didn't get it in a way because they're assuming that he's still behind everything. But like I said, they're also making me feel bad for him this season. So I'm kind of like, well, he can't help himself because he has no recollection of this evil he is. So I don't know. That was a little uncomfortable for me. But then when you find out more things in this next episode, it becomes even more like, huh? Because you're going to find something out.
Oh, of course we are. Of course we are.
I don't know what, but something.
I do. Well, I'm not gonna say that actually. I'm not saying that. I do know something I'm not supposed to say. But I think that scene made me incredibly uncomfortable when she got in Gordon's face. It wasn't. I don't want to call it cringy, but it was seemed out of place.
It did. It really did. Because I get like she got like the whole video message and all the craziness, but I didn't get that because, like I said, whatever he did before he lost his memory, and I genuinely think he's lost his memory and he's not.
I think he has too. I feel like the brain scans would show something else. I feel like that's supposed to be the proof that the amnesia is super real. And yes, I also agree with AJ always delivers on her acting, regardless of the content. Or the quality of the episodes. There's something else I wanted to bring up, but I forgot what it was.
It'll come
Oh,
back.
would you prefer? So the season is split up between two characters. It's always for the season it's JJ, and the other half of the season is centered on Tara. For JJ's parts of the episodes, would you have preferred it to be about BAU Gate, entirely about BAU Gate, or would you have preferred it to still be what it is now, Bill dying and her grief? I don't know if anybody else who's watching has a preference for BAU Gate over Will. I think I would prefer it if it was about the BAU Gate, because they made that out to be such a big thing, and I know it was shut down, but clearly people can still access it and upload things to the website.
Yeah, I think so too, because
that.
I would rather Will just not be dead at all.
I think that's also the big deciding factor. I don't want Will to be dead. I really loved him.
And I think it's just we've dealt with so many loss of favorite people in this show, and like not just by them getting killed, but also their because this isn't the first time a spouse has been taken, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like it's like they can't have a good life. It sucks. Even if they
No,
don't
well,
get killed, it doesn't work out for them or
they killed
and then once
Haley, they
again you'll
killed
see
Crystal.
yeah, and then you'll see again like in the future like they're always in danger. They're never like safe, you know? They might have a party with a cake and a little gathering and have some fun, but then when's the next time? And I know it's a show, but it's like when's the next time, you
I
know?
know.
Is
I
it
think
this is
that's
what it's really
why.
like for these agents in real life? I don't know.
I
I
hope
never
not.
applied.
I think that's why we benefit from a longer season being more than just 10 episodes, because with they have to have that really striking season finale and season premiere about something happening, and with the longer seasons they have more time to space it out, so it feels less like. One of the reasons I don't really like 911 is because something's always happening every other episode to a cast member, like a main character. And I think Criminal Minds is falling into that same pattern because they don't have enough episodes to space it all out and make it feel less intense in a good way.
Like I remember there used to be just episodes like obviously there was a killer every episode, but
Mhm.
it wasn't it was like there's a killer, but it's not they had time to like deal with other things that were going on. Like say if they had like a relationship thing, it would be ongoing. They wouldn't just like cut it right in that episode. It would be like over time and I don't know. I don't know. Maybe and maybe I'll never get used to this streaming world because even with like Dexter and some of my other favorite shows, you know, when I would watch the original Dexter show, it was when it would come on TV with my mom, and then when they came out with, um, was it New Blood or I for tripping right now because I'm watching Original Sin again, but I loved it, but I just felt like it wasn't enough, and I feel like do they do that because they want to drag it out before they come out with the next thing and just give it time and give it hype and know that we'll wait because we're so desperate for more. You know, I've noticed that with streaming as a whole, it's kind of annoying. Like why can't we just like I'm telling you, there's shows in England that have episodes every single day and they've been doing that for the past 40 years.
Oh
I
my
think they
gosh.
film like once a week or something. These are like soaps that are like 40 minutes long. They air every single day in England except the weekend, and I'm pretty sure they spend like 1 week filming one like they air every day. So it is possible, and I know they don't film every day. Like they have a set schedule. And I'm wondering if I don't know what it is, but I feel like they could easily give us like 25 episodes if they really wanted to. I mean, did we even I don't even remember waiting a long time for the next season to air. I think when it would come on TV
Well,
in England, I would wait like 5 to 6 months or something.
I think with the streaming issue, it was impacted by two things. For season 16, the gap between season 16 and 17 was impacted by the SAG strike. That made them cut their filming schedule. Like they had to push it, I think, a couple months after what it was supposed to be, and then in between season 17 and 18, we didn't really get an explanation on why that took so long because they started filming in, I think, January of last year, but no, it was later than that. Whatever the gap was, it should have come out at the beginning of this year, but instead they pushed it all the way to May.
I think production has just changed too. Like apparently, like studios are no longer in LA getting filled up. Like people are filming elsewhere. I just think so many things are changing. And then I think they went through a stage from COVID to like maybe a year ago where they were coming out with so many like not just like Paramount, like all streaming platforms were pumping out so much content because they thought people would be home forever. And they just came out with like good shows, but random shows, unnecessary shows, or they brought back certain things that didn't need to be brought back. Like I'm not gonna like I love Charmed. Charmed was another show I was obsessed with, and when they did that Charmed reboot, I was like, look, this I can't. Like I just can't. Like, could you imagine they rebooted Criminal Minds with a whole new cast?
Oh, I think we'd hate that. I remember when Paramount Plus pitched the idea. We heard rumors. It was back in 2021-2022. There were rumors about them rebooting the series, and it was pretty divided because people didn't want it to be related to the pandemic at all. A lot of people said that would be fine if it was, and obviously it was. But there was a lot of concern whether or not they would bring back the old cast, and then we heard Paget, among other people, speak about no, they invited the whole cast back, but only 6 of them were going to be returning, excluding Daniel Henney and Matthew Blooper. And I think at one point, Paget even said on Twitter, and then she was corrected by Paramount Plus's account by saying, "No, we are still doing a reboot. It's just a matter of like getting everything, all the pieces back together." So, I mean, I don't know. I need more episodes. That's what my big issue is right now.
Yeah, if they give us more episodes, I feel like we'll be happy, and that's for a lot of shows. Okay, we're talking about Criminal Minds, Dexter, even Law and Order. I would watch, like, today's my Friday, so I'd either watch it tonight or tomorrow, but I noticed I only have episodes for organized crime because there's no more Law and Order or SVU. I'm like, okay. I'm running out of things to watch. And obviously when you screen them as press, I don't have anything to watch anyway because I've screened it in a bulk ahead of time. So in a way, I'm kind of glad they gave it to me week by week. That way I'm like forced to wait and I have something to watch. Otherwise I would have nothing to watch other than movies, which I'm grateful for. But you know what I also like about like Criminal Minds? Our fandom is not unhinged.
I would disagree. I'm on Twitter.
Okay, but you haven't. I was trying to say like it's not unhinged. It's still there's some craziness, but I don't know. There is like I've experienced a lot of fandoms, and I'm telling you, this one to me isn't as bad because some of the other ones like when we post, like, as media, you post unbiased, you just post the post. But I have seen like I just posted who should play Wonder Woman, and people are just the first comment was like the F word, like, and about like who made this blah 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 choice, and I'm like, it's just a pick, like it's just. But then it started going in even more, and I'm like, oh my god, like there's so many unhingedness that can go on, and I'm glad that I have. I mean, we and you have like talked about some things that scenarios people put together, and some of the like the weird stuff people put
We've
up.
looked
Which
at
I
the
think
comments and been freaked out. Not freaked out. I don't think freaked out the right word. It's more like it's never that deep.
Yeah, and I feel like if that was, I also feel like when people are negative or they twist something or they do something with a cast member or character, they're not real fans because real fans, like, we're not here to create drama. We like talk to each other about the show. And if there's something that we seriously like, there's a way to come across and explain it to like the network or whatever. That like, oh, I didn't like this, and why did they do that, or so. But I feel like attacking each other or like somebody's point of view, like at the end of the day, this is all fiction. Some of these are based off true things, but these are characters played by real human beings. So if we start putting things together, because I've seen some wild stuff too, but it's not as unhinged as some of these other ones that I've seen. I just had to delete a post off TikTok actually for another fandom because it got a little wild. Yeah.
I have found that the only thing that will currently get Criminal Minds fans really to start fighting each other is when you bring up certain ships. I will not name names for my safety, but certain ships that I've mentioned to you before, like watching 2 people go back and forth in our comment sections on our collab posts, it's more than it should ever be. I kind of like the only couple I want to see survive by the end of season 20 or season 19 even are Penelope and Luke. I need that to be a thing. I don't know how you feel about those two, but those two need to figure it out. I think Penelope needs to figure it out more. And Rebecca and Tara. That's it.
Yeah, I agree. I've been waiting for Penelope and Luke to figure it out because I'm like, what is this? What is going on, guys? Just figure it out at this point. I mean, she needs someone, She needs someone.
I'm convinced Penelope needs to be the one to tell Luke that she's in love with him because he admitted last season, he's like, yeah, she knows I love her.
Aww.
And we haven't done anything about that? Okay.
He's just so, I mean, I think he still needs to really come to terms with his closure as well and opening himself up. because he could be afraid, like, to put another woman in danger, even though, like, it's not directly anything's his fault. But I don't know. That whole thing with his sister is really emotional. But yeah, Rebecca and Tara. I mean, you know what? You're just gonna have to.
Oh, great. There's more. Don't worry, guys. There's always more
Yeah, you're
drama
just
with
gonna have to
those two.
wait. But it's not just that. There's like somebody else in play that you would have never thought would be in this motion, but he ends up being in this motion. I don't
Well, they
know. It's
just
a lot
introduced
going on.
Evan. I have no like legitimate things on this, but I know they just introduced Evan, who is Rebecca's ex. They don't call him a boyfriend, but they just kind of refer to him as an ex. And I mean, they said that they slept together, but I think that's like the extent of their relationship. And then,
Yeah, I thought that
I
was
don't know.
pretty funny last episode when they were convinced he was trying to win her back or something.
I know. I think that we needed. I found episode 6 was like the most perfect episode we've had so far this season, where it had just a right amount of comedy. There was enough of the case, and we got the sprinkles of Voight, and we had that cute scene with him and Penelope winning as they were building their computer back together. I don't know, and then the cliffhanger too with the mask. Oh, I know you know something about the mask, so I'm not gonna ask
I'm
you.
just trying to use my words properly and just act up. It sucks. Like I wish. See, this happened to me. Like that's why I'm kind of grateful now that I only get like one episode ahead of time, because it does drive me crazy knowing things and not being able to. Because when it's time for everybody else to talk about it, then I've moved on to the next thing. But at least it's just one episode that I'm ahead, because when I get like a full season and I literally can't say nothing, I'm just there like sitting in the corner rocking back and forth like then you gotta wait a whole year or whatever it is to see if there's even an epic conclusion. Like I saw a 28 years later last night. I'm not allowed to say anything other than I saw it. I can't even give you a smile or a cry. All I can say is that I saw it until the 20th, I think. So it's like holding this stuff in, you actually go mentally crazy a little bit because you can't talk to anyone about it. And these are things that you watch have like a lot of emotions, and I analyze stuff like a certain way, and I start seeing themes, and it sparks my own series in my own head after, but not being able to talk about it, it's like driving me nuts. So
I just
what's for
realized
dinner?
I missed a bunch of comments. Well, I'm gonna try and
I can't see them for some reason.
I'm gonna remind people that I cannot. So if I'm squinting, it's because I'm trying to read the comments. Yes, I do believe some of the deaths were unnecessary. Like Will, that did not need to happen. And do you think Matt Simmons could come back at any point? Like I don't know if you remember who that is. Daniel Henney's character. I was surprised that he wasn't included for the funeral as well. And I cannot fight. There's someone who just said that on YouTube. Like I cannot fight. I'm not good at that. I can't do that. I'll die.
Yeah, I don't. My physical capabilities, like I feel like that's why I didn't sign up to go be FBI, because I'm bad at running. I feel like if I had to actually fight someone, I have a pretty good kick power. But other than that, fight or flight, I will fight.
Someone also said they need more Luke focus in season 19. We have no confirmation about this, but Erica Messer, who is the showrunner for Corona Minds, she said that for who they choose to focus on during the season, they go down the call sheet. The only two remaining names from the central cast is Adam Rodriguez, who does play Luke, and Kirsten Magnus, who plays Penelope Garcia. And I think season 19 is supposed to be centered on them, but I don't trust Erica Messer to follow through on that, because I feel like we always get the rug pulled out from underneath us.
Sorry,
yes,
my dog just pulled his cone off.
I also believe Garcia is afraid to let herself be happy this year.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I agree with the Garcia thing, because but I feel like if they put her in a relationship, that's going to change the trajectory of the show for them in a way. I feel like they're doing this on purpose,
I need them to figure it out.
I also don't trust what people say, because I feel like when they say something, they do the opposite sometimes, and they just want us to keep guessing, because part of the promo for their show is to have their fans talking about it and putting theories together. But I don't know. You know better than me, because I'm still amazed how you know every episode and season, whereas I know like what happens, but I can't, because like I said, I've been watching them since I was like 10, 11. I
Uh-huh.
cannot pinpoint what is what. I just know what's been it's one big lump of like stuff in my memory now. Like I can't even pinpoint. Like I
Not
go
a
by
lot of people
moment, but
believe me
you
when
have
I
like
say that.
photographic memory of like episode and season. Like I could ask you, well, what episode was it when, Gideon left and they found out he died? Like you'll probably be like, it was this one.
Well, those are 2 separate episodes, but if you want those, I do know those.
Exactly. See?
No, I was thinking about the way they killed off Gideon, and something that I worry about for the future of evolution is after they kind of, they'd known for years after Mandy Patinkin left that he was not coming back to that show. He kind of hates Criminal Minds in a way because of how dark it was. And I worry that with the way Thomas Gibson, who plays Hotch, is not coming back, I worry they'll kill off Hotch off screen. I don't want to put that out there because in case Erica Messer is like secretly listening to us, I don't know.
And you
But
never know.
I worry they'll kill
Paramount.
off Hotch, and I don't think I'd survive that. I feel like that would be
I
worse than
wouldn't
Will, even if
either.
it's not on screen.
I would rather him and Morgan and everyone who left and are alive just be safe and not on the show, and then comes back when they feel like it, if that ever was allowed. But yeah, Gideon's death was like hard. I
I
love
think it was
Gideon.
hard to watch Reed take that on.
Yeah, poor Reed. Reed and his cardigans.
And his purple scarf also made a comeback. It wasn't just Matthew Googler who got to come back for Will's funeral. It was his scarf, which he has worn. I went back. I was watching a couple of the funeral episodes. He wears that in almost every funeral they have on the show.
Somebody in wardrobe is like, you gotta. They have that as like a mood board. Like he has to have this in every single one. I'm telling you, everything is intentional. Every little thing they do on purpose. Sometimes I sit and I look to see if I can watch like bloopers or if they like left anything in the set or like by accident, but I haven't yet. But that's the next thing I'm on because
I don't think I've ever spotted anything in the background for Criminal Minds, but I noticed some of the. Sorry, something. I know some of the lines they leave in also fill in background. Like there's a season 1 deleted scene that gives us context for why Hotch was so distracted during the case, and it's because Haley was pregnant with his son Jack. So I feel like I don't know. See, all those things could be fit in if we had longer seasons.
I know, like we wanna, like I barely see them eat. Like I actually want to see them eat properly, but that's a general thing in movies and TV. I get annoyed when I don't see them. Like I want to see them do normal things like laundry, eat, like, like I want to see them like be human too, not just trapped or something.
Oh, someone said they missed the Criminal Minds bloopers. They did have bloopers for season 17, and I bought the DVD so I could rip I don't know if it's legal to say that, but so I could rip the bloopers reel, and I posted a few of them, but maybe I should post the whole thing just in case to show some of the bloopers because they're so funny.
Yeah, they're the best, and I think it's fine if you like you're doing it to promote the show. It's not like it's you're showing it to an audience theater and charging people, and it's after the fact. So
yeah. I think my favorite blooper, I don't know if I did post it, but it's specifically AJ Cook going up on a line and she accidentally says the word boner, which it's such childish humor, but it was definitely, she didn't catch it until after she said the word. And I always think those are the best. Or, Paget has a history of bursting out laughing in the middle of a scene or she starts swearing. Apparently like crazy. Aisha Tyler and Adam Rodriguez have said that. I will post the bloopers. There is none for season 16, but there are for 17. But I think Paget has like the biggest part of the blooper reel because whenever she messes up on a line, we've talked about this in interviews, she either says like a string of curse words or makes these really weird noises. And it's become like a running joke with the cast that when she goes up on a line and she messes it up, it's going to be something ludicrous that comes out of her mouth afterwards. Oh my gosh.
I love that you know these facts because I do a lot of research before I do interviews, and some of these things I don't even know because we're true fans. But I digress.
Yes, very much.
Let me see if there's any messages. Recap, please, what happened. For everyone on YouTube, we are discussing Criminal Minds, the show. There we go. So somebody's asking, please. Somebody's that remember to drink water. Okay.
It's only been 15 minutes. It's okay.
If you have to give one message to the world, what will your message be? Watch Criminal Minds.
Yeah, probably. I'd say watch Criminal Minds. It's a comfort show. I fall asleep to it. You know, I need something to comfort me.
No, I even told somebody, I was like, general serial killer stuff, like I watch it before I go to bed. Then I wake up freaking out at 3 in the morning to close the door, but
I find that in the fandom, if I talk to other people, a lot of people have that same experience of there is a comfort to watching the show once you get used to it. And by getting used to it, when I first started watching the show like properly, when I was about 12 or 13, I was terrified of it. I couldn't watch it before bed, and now I can't fall asleep without it in the background. And yeah, I'd say watch it. It becomes a comfort show after a while. Also, you kind of get to see. I like the individual characters. An ensemble show that is truly an ensemble show.
yeah, and there's only like a few shows like on the back of my hand that I have that relationship with. I mean, I can go through them all. Some of them are no longer air. Some of them have been tried to be rebooted, but I think there's
Yeah.
only really a couple now that um, I truly do love. Even for me, The Rookie, like when I first started watching The Rookie, the first couple of seasons were more. It was more of like a intense cop show. Now it's become a little more funny. I think I preferred the earlier seasons. I think they've kind of made it a little bit funnier now, which I don't know how much. I still love the characters, but I don't know if I'm as like there were some crazy. That's what I'm saying. There was cases that kind of spanned maybe 1 or 2 episodes, or there was different. So there's like a certain amount of shows that I could probably count on maybe two hands because I love watching TV. But Criminal Minds, like even when I'm working, I have older episodes on in the background where I can just hear them like speaking while I'm like working is like, you know, comfort.
Yes. Someone just said there's something special about the Criminal Minds cast, and I agree with that. I have found that when I've looked at other shows like behind the scenes, with the exception of Law and Order SVU, because that's been ongoing for over 25 years,
Yeah.
the Criminal Minds cast is especially close. A lot of the actors talk about how they're in a group chat together and they have vacation homes near each other, things like that. The ladies have the hot tub. My English is awful. Hot tub wine machine nights. I think I said that right. Where they go over to Kirsten's house and they sit in her hot tub and have a girls' night. And I think Adam wants to join that because he feels left out.
Good.
That's
and I know
pretty new. Not new,
and
but
I think it's
odd.
special because the bond isn't fake. And there's a couple of other shows that I've specifically asked the question when I've interviewed them, like, how is the bond outside of like the show? And I'm always happy to hear that they have a good bond, they're friends, because I hate when I hear like I was really devastated when I first learned that the Charmed sisters did not have a good relationship on the show. Like there was beef between like Alyssa Milano and I
I
think
could
it
have
was
lived
Rose
without knowing that.
McGowan.
I could have
Yeah,
lived without
well,
knowing that. Oh my gosh.
yeah, I learned like it was a couple years ago. I think it was when it was a while ago, and like Shannon Doherty and everyone. It was a while ago that it first came out, but that really kind of like hurt because I was so that show. I made a whole book of shadows. Like I actually have a copy of one now, but I made one as a kid, and those things kind of like really upset me because I really thought that. I mean, as a kid, you think people are actually real on TV shows. I thought they were actually sisters. So
um,
it was just hurtful as a grown up to learn like they didn't get along and they had all this drama and beef, and then Shannon died, and I feel like it was sad because it was like you have this history of the show anyway. So I'm really happy when I learned that people actually like have a bond outside of the
I
show.
think one thing that's always cute is seeing AJ Cook's real kids on the show, and they do a really good job. During Will's funeral episode, her younger son Phoenix, did such an amazing job with his little tears in the back as as Will's coffin is going in the ground. I don't like thinking about that; it's so sad. But they did an amazing job on how the boys are incorporated into the episode. It didn't feel like it was too much or really forced. I think they do a great job with that. I don't think any of the real cast members. Well, Gia Montaigne, who's Joe's daughter, she's also been in several episodes of Criminal Minds because she was a victim turned unsub. I don't know if you remember that one, but you're me. Oh, there we go. Yeah,
It's this cone.
poor guy.
I know, and he's so little.
Oh,
He's like
yeah.
this big ass cone on his head, and because he's a little wiener dog.
Sorry, this is now that I'm thinking about dogs. I also think about the continuity error of David Rossi used to have a dog named Mudgy, or it was like a
Yeah.
weird name. and he disappeared. Also, Morgan had a dog who also disappeared.
Disappeared.
Yeah, he had a dog named
We're just
Clooney
like-
in the first season, and then we never heard about Clooney again. And then Savannah had a dog who we also never heard about again.
It's funny that they miss these little details because I'm like,
I
why?
think the only remaining BAU pet is Sergio, and of course the Black Queen, Penelope's newest edition of her cats. But
Mhm. Yeah, that's
That's it.
interesting. Watch they listen to this live and they're like, oh, we got to bring them back, make a magic appearance.
I know, if I could request anything to Erica Messa right now, put Garbez back in the room, put that together. But I need those two to get together. That's non-negotiable. But that needs to happen now because I feel cheated that their date didn't go well, and I it's like the confession episode. It doesn't exist to me. That bad date, it doesn't exist.
It's non-existent. Well, maybe if we spam her enough, she'll listen.
I feel like she's off of social media because of how people react to the
Yeah.
episodes.
I wonder, like, because I don't know, it's funny because the rooms that I'm in sometimes, like when I go to like an event, it's usually press or theaters or something, like when I've never seen like diehard fans at some of the screenings I've gone to. Because like yesterday I was fanning out at the movie thing I went to because there was little, like, I'm always like really fanning out. I'm looking around like, is anybody else here? It's not like that with DC and Marvel and certain fandoms, but when it comes to some of these shows, because LA, it's so big, and when it comes to like the industry, it's mostly people who work on it as opposed to people who like consume it. Sometimes I'm wondering, like, are there people in here who are like me, like, yes, Criminal Minds, but I've never been to a
Insane.
Criminal Minds event, which sucks because I don't think.
I feel like they don't do premieres anymore because they're not putting
Yeah.
in work.
Yeah, I don't think so
Someone
either.
Hazel brought up Luke's dog, Roxy. We haven't seen Roxy or Lou. Lou was Phil's best friend who was murdered. His dog. I feel like they are underutilized. I hope in the following season when they bring up, if it is about Luke and Penelope, I hope they bring back Roxy. She was a very good Belgian Malinois.
Yeah, I feel like they have to. These are like, pets are big parts of like human beings' lives as well, like you can't just make them disappear.
See, everyone's agreeing Garbage should happen. I'm reading some of their comments. They're all talking about Luke and Penelope need to get together, and they haven't had a lot of scenes this season. I was expecting we only saw a little bit of it until the promo photos were released, but I was expecting Penelope and Luke to be the two who went to interview Voight. I was surprised it was Tyler.
Yeah. That's a good point, actually.
Yes.
Just wait till next episode, because it's emotional. It's emotional on so many parts. I mean, they're all emotional, but it's just, I feel like it's just hard to deal with it because it's like we're getting so much in an episode because we have so little episodes. And they give us these cliffhangers every week. Every week, cliffhanger. Trauma until the next week.
Oh my gosh. I think I know I know what the cliffhanger is for this episode or the following episodes. I think I know what it is. About the mask. How, without revealing anything, how concerning is that? Scale 1 to 10.
I will say it's about somebody's past. It's pretty concerning. I'd give it a 9.
9 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh god. That does concern me.
Masks really freak me out as well, though. Like, generally, like the idea of a mask. Like, I'm really scared of clowns. I'm really scared of like the Purge movies because they're not scary, but masks like freak me out because I feel like masks.
The Purge movies are my favorite, actually.
I love them, but those masks freak me out.
Zach's also in the second Purge movie.
Yes, exactly. So it's like masks just freak me out, but a mask is pretty significant. But ever since like I've had a fear of clowns, I love the It movies, but I hate clowns. Clowns with clown masks. Oh my god, just masks freak me out, especially and especially when they're like white plain masks, shaped all creepy. And I think they did that for added effect. But no, the mask definitely is. It means more than one thing. The symbolism, the themes. They're using that for a bunch of stuff. But it's definitely hiding something deep, pasts, traumas. What leads to make somebody who they are.
There was a filter. I did not realize that. How long? I hope that hasn't gone wrong.
Or there's a filter on? I can't even. I'm not able. What is this?
I don't know. Oh, you can. Yes, you can take. I must have clicked something. I'm sorry. I don't know how long.
Oh, there is a filter. Hello.
Oh God. Let me not get distracted by that now. I don't know how to get rid of that either.
I'm gonna put no. There we go.
I think it's gone. Whatever.
I just look terrible today because I've been moving around a lot lately. All these flights.
You look gorgeous. It's fine. And the multi-fandom nerd girl. I hope I'm saying her name right. I really can't read from this far away. It's annoying when people blame Tyler and RJ Hatanaka for the lack of pairings scenes. I see that a lot. RJ's just doing his job, and he's very nice, and he gives us behind-the-scenes photos. Can I turn that off? I don't. He liked one of my comments saying I like Tyler and Penelope as friends. So I feel like that gives us hope that they remain only friends. I don't know how you feel about that. I know you like Earth, but I don't know how you feel about Tyler and Penelope.
I don't. It's. I'm kind of stuck between that. I feel like I can't decide who's right for her.
I think it is the easiest decision in the world. I want to see her end up with Luke Galvez because they've been putting that out there. They can't tease that entire relationship for the entire. I mean, they totally would do this, but they can't not give us Galvez eventually. That has to happen.
I mean, they love bothering us, so they might give us Garler.
I think it's supposed to be either Green Sia or Tynelope, and I think I've asked for the most unhinged versions of that ship name, and they're ugly. They're gross ones. I also
not
Tynelope, I think is like the word. That's offensive in a way. I think Green Sia is better, but
yeah, definitely.
How about we don't ship them at all?
Well, we're just gonna have to wait because Garcia gonna have to find somebody at this point. She's gonna have to be with someone.
She needs to figure out her stuff with Luke.
And it can't be her computer or her cat.
No.
Plural.
The only person I want to see end up with a cat is probably Emily. I think Emily needs to ride off into the sunset as director in the future. If I was to end this show, I would have her be director and run off with cats. I don't want to see any romance for her or anything.
Not wiener dogs, no dash hens. I feel like she.
I'm a cat person, and I also think Prentice is a cat person.
Okay, so yeah, I'm a wiener dog person. So I would have a bunch of wiener dogs just riding off in the sunset with sausage dogs.
I also say that the lack of Luke's screen time is concerning so far. I know the season overall has been really central to Tara. Well, yes, Tara and JJ. But I feel like they're missing out on talking about the other characters because we only saw a little bit of Luke.
Yeah, I don't know if they're. Do we want to see? That's another thing I don't like. Why they focus on 2 people. Before it was kind of like. I mean, I know, like for example, when the stuff was happening with Hodge, they focused on him, but they didn't focus on him. So like, it's a lot of. Yes, Will died. We feel bad for JJ, and Tara's going through stuff, but it's like. I don't know. I don't want to like not see the others, But then again, like we said, it's the 10-episode thing. It's hard. How can you stuff all these people in 10 episodes?
Yeah, I really wish there was more. Also, there's a big friendship that they're not using. Tara and Luke are really good friends. They've shown that throughout the past 2 seasons almost, or at least in season 16. I want to see more of that, for sure.
Well, that would be an extra 10 minutes on an episode that they just don't have, apparently. So the conclusion is that we would like more episodes, please, without commercial breaks or any type of streaming breaks or Hulu no live ads, Paramount ads. I don't even know. It's crazy because when I first got all of these streaming services, none of them have ads, and now they all have ads. And if I want no ads, I got to pay an extra God knows how much.
See, I live outside the U.S., so well, a lot of the international fans we don't watch on Paramount at all. So we either have to find it through other streaming services, or it comes out the day after on Canadian Disney Plus. So
Disney Plus?
Yeah. Oh wait, you guys don't have that there.
We have Disney Plus, but a Paramount show on Disney Plus?
Because it's under Stars, which is another, I think, company or something.
Stars has shows like BMF and like all the 50 Cent shows out here, but that's interesting that they have it like that.
I also believe Criminal Minds is owned by Disney.
Criminal Minds is it? If it's
It's like,
Paramount,
you know how in the layers of parent companies, I think Disney owns them. Owns the show.
interesting.
98%.
Because I know Disney is owned by ABC. If ABC is owned by Disney, and then they merged. I remember at one point, it's so confusing because everything was separate and now everybody merged. It's really weird.
I don't know. The bottom line is that they do need to give us more episodes. I feel like that should be our message that's our message to the world. Criminal Minds needs more episodes per season.
Yes, for this cat, this is our message. And next
Yes.
week we'll touch on how long the episodes need to be.
I definitely think that is the big. Yeah, I agree with that one wholeheartedly.
Yeah, because let me look right now. This screener that I just watched.
Oh, you can't. I don't know if you can play that in the background.
Yeah, I have it paused because I like to rewind sometimes and like go through stuff. Let me see. It is because like the first episode was 52 minutes, then it was 49, then it was 48, then it was 49.
I say if you're given an hour, use the full hour.
Episode 6. Wait, actually, I'm on season 17. That was all a lie. I still have it. Let me see. Season 18.
What has been your favorite episode so far this season? I think mine is 6.
Let me see. So these ones have all been long. Wait, episode 2 was 58 minutes. 49 minutes, 58 minutes, 59 minutes, 55 minutes, 51 minutes, 53 minutes, and 7 is 50 minutes. I would say episode 6 was pretty good. I mean, the death.
I feel like
it wasn't good, it was just shocking. Not that it was bad, it was, the one that really hit me. But yeah, I would agree 6. I didn't like 5. Actually, 7. I like 7.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they have a cap on some streaming shows have episodes that are almost at a movie length. I don't know if there is a cap for the Criminal Minds episodes. I assume it's an hour, like 60 minutes on the dot. But I don't know. Also, something that I have seen them do, which they haven't done since season 16 aired, they to show that Tyler and Penelope actually got together. They had a mid-credit scene of the aftermath of that, which was pretty funny. I mean, at the time it was not funny. I was upset, but I feel like they could do that again. I feel like that added another layer of comedy to it.
Well, I just miss when they had like when they would do the double episode drops, or like when it was on TV cable, it would be like they'd either have like a double episode airing or like one after another or something. Because even for some shows, they've dropped 2 episodes at once. I feel like they could do that and maybe give us extra. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how they can just give us more. Because I'm like 50 minutes. I didn't even know it was 50 minutes, but to me it felt like 30 just watching it now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt really fast. Like I watched it right before this call. I have 19 views remaining. I can watch it 19 times.
I feel like eventually they're going to get you to leak out something from the next episode. And
I know.
Want you to do that. So, well, I don't know I know what I think is going to happen in the next episode. I know it's eventually leaning into the fact that something with Tara is going to happen, which I'm excited and scared for because I think Tara deserves more screen time and more people should be talking about Tara Lewis and the amazing character that she is. But
I think what I don't think is gonna happen this season, and I could be wrong, but I just feel like if they killed another main character, that would be detrimental, and nobody wants that. And I think unless something happened behind the scenes with the actor, they really wouldn't do that. So I feel like we shouldn't worry about that. But then again, we don't know because I have seen shows just go off the ship.
Here's how I'm gonna put it. Everyone I know, like I can safely say, makes it to the end of this season. Whether or not someone gets killed off at the end of season 19 is up for grabs because they have a 4-year contract in place that ends with season 19. So after that airs, all bets are off. They could totally kill off a main cast member.
Yeah, but hopefully not this season. Oh my god. Or they bring back an old cast member, tell us they're gonna renew for way more seasons, have a Comic-Con appearance. Exactly. My god, if they brought back Hotch, I'd be so happy. Yes. Hey Nick. Ooh, ready for Einstein.
I don't know if anybody is. I have not seen a lot of press because I know they delayed the release for Einstein into. That's Matthew Gray show. If people don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm excited, but yeah, I haven't seen much other than whatever I posted the other day.
My personal opinion is I do not want to see Reed return to Criminal Minds. I think we've been doing just fine without him. That's a controversial opinion. I feel like that is not. I don't want. Not that I don't want to see him back. I don't think we need him back.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't know. Do I don't know. I don't know. I have conflicting opinion on that. Greetings from Indonesia. Okay. Hello, Indonesia. Bring back Hotch, Reed, and Morgan. I definitely want Hotch and Morgan back. I feel like Reed was. He was like the little nerdy guy that I felt like I was most relatable to, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not very like physically active as a kid. I was not like, I was good with books and computers and like, clues, but I'm not very, what do they call it? When you're book smart, but you're not like general life.
Like street smart?
Yeah, or like general, like common sense things, like basic common sense things. No, but you can ask me all this geeky stuff, I can tell you. So I feel like that's why I like related to him most. But then like Morgan was like, if you were in school, he was like the cool kid who knew all the combat and was like, buff and could kick anybody's butt. And it's like you wanted to be like him and take him under your wing.
There is also a comment saying they'd rather have Simmons back since Matthew and Shamar have their own shows. I think Daniel Hennish, who plays Matt Simmons, his show was just canceled. Wheel of Time was just canceled. But Shamar is going on to do SWAT Exile. I think it's like the spin-off series for SWAT. So I think they're all actually booked and busy. But I think I would also prefer. I would love to see Matt Simmons come back with all of his 10 children.
I actually, when you asked me who I had interviewed, I did also interview Daniel for the Wheel of Time recently. They took me horse riding to celebrate the new season of Wheel of Time that came out a couple months ago. And I asked him something about, I think I asked him if he would rather be stuck in a room with an unsub or facing like this dark character from the Wheel of Time. And I think he said he would rather be trapped in the room with an unsub.
That bad, huh?
Which makes sense because the thing in the Wheel of Time is pretty scary. But yeah, he was like, I'll take on an unsub any day. I had to get my fandom out of that interview. I was like, I'm gonna ask these Wheel of Time questions with a Criminal Minds question in there.
That's real. I would have asked him about Big Hero 6.
Yeah. And they let me, which was good. Prime let me. They were like, yeah, that's cool. So sometimes they don't want you to talk about other shows. But it was like a fun question. It was like, would you rather type.
Yeah.
Greetings from...
I don't know if there's any questions on my end.
I mean, we definitely need to have one after this next episode.
We do? So okay. See, I'm now hyped up for the next episode because you're saying okay. You normally like preface what the episode is a little bit about. Like, you give me some details that are non-spoilers. To hype up the episode, but you've never been this cagey about an episode.
I feel like I'm just it's because I get like specific things that they tell me not to spoil. And I feel like if I say anything, like if I even breathe right now the wrong way, I'm spoiling something for this episode. It's annoying because, like I said, I just watched that 28 years later last night, and I can't say anything other than that I've seen it. That's it. And I feel like it's the same for this episode. So now I'm holding these two big things in, and I feel like I want to throw up.
Okay, and on that note...
No, people don't get it. It's so hard to hold these things in, especially like when you want to talk about it, because you feel like it actually affected your life. Like, I can't think straight. And I don't really do anything other than movie, TV show related stuff. Like, I don't really like to go outside unless I have to. So it's like, when am I going to get the next episode? But I'm glad they didn't send me all of them, because I'd be sitting here just freaking out, biting my nails, waiting for everyone else to see it. But yeah, if I stay on any longer, I probably will accidentally say something.
I'm expecting you
we
to.
need one next week. I mean, it's not, there have obviously been crazier episodes in the history of Criminal Minds, but I just feel like from this season, other than like Will's death, it's definitely a shocker.
Oh God, that makes me nervous. Okay, well, thank you for this live. I enjoyed this. Fun.
I know. And next time, I know I said that last week, but next time I'm actually going to do it in the studio room with the blue lighting, and I'm going to have the phone set up a little bit different.
I'm at my kitchen table in my apartment.
I know. It's like I keep traveling. Like, I thought it was fine. I'm going to DC now from Tuesday, Wednesday to Thursday for the amateur that movie, The Amateur 20th Century, or is it Disney or someone, is they're doing like a CIA agent thing. So it's not the BIU, but it's CIA. So maybe I can learn some combat skills.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I know. So you don't hear from me after Wednesday.
Okay. I'll be worried.
I officially enlisted into the CIA, and I can't talk to anyone.
I always knew this was coming. This happens a lot with my friends. I'm kidding.
We all just go into the FBI.
Thank you again for this. I love doing these. So apparently we need one after the next episode.
No, we do. And then one day when we all get really like big and like famous and our YouTubes are at 1 million subscribers, me, you, and my friend Nick, we can all meet up and do a live podcast somewhere talking about this. And we should maybe intertwine it like with other shows too.
I feel like that could be good. We've got different fandoms in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna start you like in between like having no More Criminal Minds episodes to binge. I'm gonna start sending you other stuff to watch.
Oh my god! You know what? I'll look forward to that. I'm about to graduate. I need a job, another job besides the ones I have.
Well, this will be your job eventually. That's the plan, right, Nick?
Amazing.
This will be our job all day.
Okay.
Okay, it's Friday, right? Yeah, it's Friday.
Yes.
It's later for you. It's 8 o'clock for you. So yes, enjoy your weekend. Watch Criminal Minds.
Yes.
I'll try not to spoil anything.
You can spoil me. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I can spoil them. That's the issue.
Yeah, we cannot spoil them. Mm-hmm. We want you to experience it. Yes. Okay. Well,
thank you guys for being
Thank
here.
you guys. Thank you, YouTube. Bye. Thank you, Instagram. Bye. Bye, guys.